Hello guys, it is me, Hobo, and today we have started a new show! Yes! Today we are going to do something called Subtle Rewrites. This is when I'm going to subtly rewrite a series, a game, anything I feel like. And it will be changed slightly. That is why it's called Subtle Rewrites. So the rules are, I cannot change the overarching story. I cannot change the end. All I can change is what happens and how they lead to the end and what the individual bits. So if someone dies, I could change that. But if I resurrect somebody, I have to kill somewhere else. Perfectly balanced as all things should be, as a hero once said. And that is basically the rules of Subtle Rewrites. So today we will be rewriting Game of Thrones Season 8. Only Season 8. Because they'll be here for days otherwise. Okay, let's get right into this. So, episode 1 and 2 of Season 8. I'm keeping the same. I'm not rewriting that. They will stay because I have nothing to say about that. But we're going to get into episode 3. This when shit gets real and we will be changing quite a bit. So, as you know, there's 5 deaths in this episode. I will be changing 3 of them. 2, the one-eyed bugger and the the Night Watch bugger. They die the same way. I don't care about those 2, but the other 3 will change. So the first thing I will change about this is, do you know when the red lady is lighting the fire? I don't like how she dies in this episode. I think it's kind of pathetic and shit. So I want her. So the fire that she's lighting, because she's struggling to do it, she uses her life force and uses all her power to light the fire. This ends up killing her in the end, but I can't kill her off just then because that will obviously affect the story. And then she doesn't meet Aya, who does the speech, and then she goes off and kills the Night King. So she will obviously survive past that bit, but she's dying because of this. You can see throughout so in my vision, you see her degrade throughout the episode, and you see her aging until she slowly dies. So that's how she dies. Another thing I'll be changing about this, we'll get to Theon. In the actual show, he kinda does a retarded little run to the Night King and gets stabbed. In this, I want to do something different. So with Theon, he's gonna be the bastard to kill the Night King. Okay? I know it's something to do with Aya, but in this one, I will have the Night King run at Theon. Then Theon gets bitch slapped over by the Night King because he's going straight for Bran, and I will come in, go in for the stab, gets caught, she's about to die. Theon stabs the Night King through the back and ends up simply dying from his wounds. When he gets bitch slapped, he's obviously going to end up breaking a few bones, maybe he lands on something sharp. He dies, okay? Theon dies, but he doesn't have the gets retarded die. Then at the end of this episode, we have the worst death in all of Game of Thrones, Jorah. Jorah himself dies with Dany. Now, I'm rechanging this because I want Jorah to live, but someone needs to die. And I was thinking to myself this for a while, I could do Tyrion because you need to have that emotional impact with Daenerys to have that kind of tip her over. But we couldn't do Tyrion because he has to be down the crypt and he's too important to the end game. So I was thinking Grey Worm. There's kind of a bond between Grey Worm and Daenerys, so I'm thinking he could take the death. It won't be as emotional, but he's taken the death. So Grey Worm dies in this part, and then finally, as you see for the whole episode, this is when the Red Lady will die from her rapid aging. She'll be taken throughout the episode. So that is episode 3 done. Okay, we are on episode 4 now, and not much will be changed. The dragon will die still. They're going to go to King's Landing. I never learnt her name, the one who translates. She dies too. She's going to be the one that pushes Daenerys a bit off the edge. But there's going to be one change. Instead of Jaime being his story getting ruined and going back to Cersei, he does something different. The same Jaime story will be completely continued. It'll be fixed by me, yours truly. So I'm going to fix Jaime's story by, instead of him running back to Cersei, he joins Daenerys' army. He volunteers to join her army and go back to King's Landing to fight alongside Daenerys and to defeat Cersei. So the whole sub-point about Tyrion letting Jaime go, that doesn't happen now. Because Jaime is now on their side. That's all I'll be changing on episode 4. Okay, now we're on episode 5, the big guy. So let's do a recap of what we've done. Now Jaime is not running to go see Cersei. He is on Daenerys' side. Jorah is still alive, kind of taking Grey Worm's place. And that's kind of all I've done so far. Wow, not much right now. But so, they go into the fight. They break into the castle. Now, Jaime, I need to get him off somewhere else. So Jaime sees the Greyjoy prick. Don't know his name. He sees him. So Jaime runs off to chase him. He runs away. They used to go off to do their own thing and fight. Because Jaime dies in this episode, I am keeping that happening. But he dies a different way. I'll come back to how he dies later. But he fights the Greyjoy, kills the Greyjoy guy, and gets stabbed. Now, we will go all the way to Jorah. Later in the story, or the episode, Daenerys will snap. This, because Jorah's still alive, will break his heart, and he will just up and leave. He leaves, okay? He helps Jon Snow do what he can and gets out there. Now, Cersei, because she now no longer has Jaime come back to her, I'm thinking this is just after the part where Canada the King dies, and the Mountain and the Hound fight. Cersei panics and runs down to the dungeons. That is where she gets crushed and dies alone. Now let's go back to Jaime. When Daenerys is burning, going crazy, Jaime's bleeding out. He's been stabbed a couple of times. I'm gonna have it where Jaime actually gets burnt to death by Daenerys' rage. This is how Jaime will die now. Now we have made it to the final episode, the biggest disappointment TV has ever known. Now let's do some subtle rewrites to try and fix this shit. Okay, the episode's going to start off. Tyrion will find Jaime's dead and burnt corpse in the streets. This will cause Tyrion to get pissed off and basically kind of tell Daenerys to fuck off and quits. This disrespectfulness to him, and the crazy Daenerys will just go, "Oi, get in the cell. He has just been prisonized." Now, later on, Jon and Jorah will go see Tyrion in prison, and this is when Tyrion will tell Jorah who Jon really is. Tyrion will try and convince Jon that he must go kill Daenerys, but Jorah, he will volunteer to go kill her. He's gonna take the kill. Now, so you would have the scene, obviously, where Jon would be in the show, but in my rewrites, Jorah kills Daenerys. No kiss scene, though. It's kind of more of a weird scene. And then he goes to prison, okay? A couple weeks pass, and then you have Tyrion put in front of the meeting of basically the same thing that happens, but Jon's up there. Tyrion does his big speech, and then Jon becomes king, because then he tells everyone Jon's the rightful king. They're like, yeah, he's a solid guy. Jon, being king, turns around and gives Bran hand of the king because he has the knowledge. Better role than being king, you see. Tyrion is ordered to go all the way back to Casterly Rock and become lord of it. North becomes free. Now to Arya, she will still go west, but actually finds out the world is round and ends up on Essos on the east. Now, finally, to Jorah, who is currently in prison. Tyrion and Jon will come up with a way to get him out of prison and save his head by going, "You will go to the Wall and join the Night's Watch." And once he's there, he will eventually become the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, just like his father before him. And thank you for listening to me rambling on about subtle changes I want to make to the season finale. It was quite a lot of fun for me. I made a little script and everything for this. It's quite fun, so thank you. If you like this, make sure to tell me and I'll do more. Like and subscribe, and see you next video. Bye bye.